It's been a long week. Everybody's coughing in the newsroom all over the place. It's finally the weekend. Let's find out what new shows are available to stream. So we've got a rom-com based in London, a crime docuseries on an unsolved mystery dating back to the 1980s, and the newest season of a show about race on a college campus.
Here to walk us through it all is Krutika Mallikarjuna. She is senior editor at TV Guide.
What up?
How's it going? Oh, you guys are friends, I see.
Yeah, I've been doing this for about a year now.
Yeah, he keeps promising me a cake, but like I still have yet to see it. It's been a year.
Yeah,
I'm waiting.
That's exactly right. It's going to be a big surprise.
Yeah, exactly. Huge. So I really need this segment because I need a new show. I want to hear more about Four Weddings and a Funeral. This is the remake, of course, of the British original. Let's take a look at a clip from it.
Have you ever had the feeling you've gone down the wrong path? Like somewhere along the line you've made a bad choice and now it's too late to go back?
I feel like that literally every day.
I can't believe you dressed up for him.
I didn't.
You're wearing a padded bra.
No, I'm not.
Let me honk your boob.
Okay.
Someone told me you show up for the people who matter the most to you.
This looks great. So this is a remake from the mind of Mindy Kaling, which I'm just excited to know what her take on this classic film is. I gotta say, I love the original Four Weddings and a Funeral.
Of course,
I mean, who doesn't love it? When Rowan Atkinson is playing the priest and he's like, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spigot. Spirit. There's a lot of great scenes, right? And so what is her take on this, just wonderful film?
So I want to say for movie lovers, it's a very loose adaptation of the Richard Curtis, original. It's a group of four American friends who end up moving to London after they have a college semester to study abroad, and they all love it. Three of them move to London, and one of them, Natalie Emmanuel from Game of Thrones, stays in America because she's, a political operator and she needs to be in DC, and she's also sleeping with her married boss. And when the series kicks off, she's headed to London for her best friend Ainsley's wedding. And, she gets there, finds a compelling reason to stay in London, and it's four friends who are all unlucky in love. And, Mindy Kaling really pulls that sort of thread from the original, but the rest of it is a lot different. It's a very modern, very fast-paced take on Four Weddings and a Funeral.
Very diverse.
Yeah, very diverse. And I really think diversifying the leads of that show puts so much dramatic tension into it. There's a really great storyline on what the Muslim Pakistani British community looks like and the ways which parents navigate do we bring our kids into the temple and do the arranged marriage thing, or do we let them go out and find love on their own? And there's a really beautiful family drama sort of nestled in Four Weddings.
So everybody, you see Natalie Emmanuel there, of course. We all know and love her from Game of Thrones, Missandei. I mean, I'm sure that that show's gonna draw some eyeballs just because you got a lot of GOT fans who are gonna want to know what she's up to.
Yes, and I promise you guys, she does not die in this. I've seen all the episodes. She lives to the end. We're gonna be okay.
Too soon.
Yeah, exactly. All right, next up is No One Saw a Thing, which is a docuseries examining the unsolved case of the murder of Ken Rex McElroy from 1981, which happened in Skidmore, Missouri. Let's take a look.
Skidmore, Missouri. It's one of America's most puzzling murders. It's where they killed the town bully, right in front of this bar.
You have the wife state, I saw him fire the gun and he killed my husband.
That was the one mistake that they made, was that they didn't kill his wife. I would have killed his wife.
All right, so what is the significance of this cold case? I know this has become a thing now, revisiting cold cases and either turning them into podcasts or into docuseries. What's this one all about?
Or into convictions.
Yeah.
Very true.
I think that's what every filmmaker is hoping for, the Sundance, Palme d'Or, and then a conviction.
And then a conviction, yeah.
So this one is a cold case that stretches all the way back to the 80s in Skidmore, Missouri. And it's really interesting because this true crime documentary is a little different, not so much in that we're trying to find out who cracked the murder, Because basically what happened is Ken McElroy was shot in broad daylight in front of like 40 witnesses, and the whole town banded together to be like, no one saw a thing. And the reason that this happened is because he had been terrorizing the town. Like, he had shot a grocery store clerk when the clerk insisted that his daughter return a piece of candy that he stole. And like, it had been like 21 indictments, 0 convictions that stuck. And the townspeople were just like, this man is pure evil, we gotta get rid of him. And what happens in this crime documentary is we're not really looking for the murderer because it's an open secret in Skidmore, Missouri. But what happens is the docuseries takes a look at the intervening years since the murder and what happened today, and interviews the people who were like alive at that time. And we see that this town has fallen into this sort of cycle of vigilante violence. There's been a number of unsolved murders and attacks since then, and it's because the people in this town felt so justified the first time they set out on this path that like now what is there to check them? So it's a fascinating portrait of this small town in Missouri.
And that's wild that now, once they saw that they could kind of avoid the law, they've been continuing to do so. Let's move on to our last clip. This is Netflix's Dear White People. This is back for a 3rd season, of course. The show follows a group of black students at a predominantly white Ivy League college. Here's a clip.
Sam's checked out.
I guess I really don't know what to do. Reality. I need grits.
Cook was on a world domination tour.
I feel like pre-Sasha Fierce Beyonce. Perfect. In every way, yet still not good enough for the relentless white masses. You just gotta lean in.
I'm guessing her people came in on a different ship than ours.
Mom, please.
What? Where's the lie? She white, right?
Whoever told you life would be comfortable
Lied to you.
Sometimes you just need to grow up and accept that you're.
Okay, I have to watch this.
You've never seen it?
No.
It's pretty good.
Dear White People,
I know.
so
Yeah,
So
very
I'm
good.
like on another planet. But that's why this is important that we talk about these things. I will do this weekend. So what can we expect from this season? Are there any revelations we can expect?
There are and there aren't. Dear White People season 3 is a really interesting departure from the sort of show and then the movie that we're sort of used to from Justin Simien, where that's like this razor sharp satire and everything is, you know, turned up to 11 in a way. But season 3 is really about like sort of pulling back and focusing on these characters' internal journeys. Like Justin Simien put out a movie in 2 seasons where these like young, black, politically motivated activists are standing up for themselves and like finding their footing as young adults. And this season is all about, okay, who am I outside of those labels, that box, that presentation, this, you know, speaking truth to power moment. Like, who am I when I just, you know, think about myself? And this is a really nice season because it doesn't pretend that any of their problems from the previous seasons have been solved. They just show you a different way to take care of them and take care of yourself. So I think this is like honestly one of my favorite seasons, but it's gonna be divisive between fans because it's a very different tone than the previous 2.
Any new characters?
Yes, Blair Underwood plays a professor who gets embroiled into some campus scandals, and I don't want to spoil it for you, but he was really great in his role. And also Laverne Cox shows up in one episode, and she just knocks it out of the park as always.
All right, great. Thank you for giving me weekend plans.
You're good to go.
So glad you were here.
Thank
you, Krutika.
Thanks for having me.